even time to change with so many stars in the game today. Dave, 78 pitches for Kershaw, very efficient. You take him out there after the 6th inning. Is that to save him for something?
Yeah, I mean, you just figure he's going to be on regular for his next start. So you got an 8-1 lead, and with 9 outs to go, we got to be able to protect it.
3 steals in a single inning ties a record from 1912. Mookie said stealing bases is a part of his game. How much has that changed the dynamic of what you guys are able to create in terms of being able to score runs without the long ball?
It's great, and that's just another element that Mookie brings. He does a lot of studying, and to be able to create stress, and whether it's stealing a base or just being on base to make the pitcher speed up or not execute a pitch, he creates tension, and he's just a heck of a ball player.
You guys continue to score runs with 2 outs. How impressed are you with the ability to be able to continue going when you have your guys are down in terms of those numbers?
No, it's great. I think tonight, honestly, we've done that with 2 outs, but tonight we just took good at bats all night long, really, and even not getting the job done, but then Will Smith comes up with a hit, or Cody comes up, or Chris Taylor comes up with a hit. Kike comes up with a 2-out hit. Corey Seager had 3 walks tonight. And when you're talking about getting the pitch count up with Glasnow, I thought those are great at bats and were very pivotal. But yeah, just up and down the lineup, Alanna, really good stuff.
Next question is from Alden Gonzalez. Go ahead.
Hey Dave, what was your plan with Kershaw for that 6th inning when it was still a 1-run game? How long or short a leash was he going to have? I'm just wondering how much a 4-run inning might have changed the decision. How much a 4-run inning might have made the decision easier for you?
Well, I thought he was throwing the baseball well, so he was going to go back out there until we started adding on some more runs. But I felt good the way he was throwing the baseball.
Next question is from Tim Brown. Go ahead.
Hey, Dave, I was thinking about the lack of video between at bats, maybe within the game, less technology. And also the way people talk about Mookie, about the willfulness in which he plays, the instinctiveness and things like that. Do you think that because of those 2 things within the game, that is almost an advantage for a guy like Mookie Betts?
I do. I do. He's old school, man. He likes to talk baseball, talk to his teammates, watch the game. And, I just love it. And I think it keeps his teammates engaged, keeps him engaged, and keeps guys on the bench. And just to hear the back and forth with the players between the hitting guys and also on the defensive side, when you're talking about positioning and things like that, for me as a coach, it's just great to hear that. And I think that he brings a lot of that out in our players as well.
Next question is from Maria Torres. Go ahead. Go ahead. Next question is from Tyler Kepner. Go ahead.
Dave, the emergence of Cody over the last couple of years and the addition of Mookie Betts, you had a good teams in 17 and 18, but how much did those 2 guys being at the top of their game elevate this whole group?
As far as Cody and who?
Having Mookie.
Yeah, no, I mean, they're you look at just sheer talent. They're a couple of the best players in all of baseball. And now you take Mookie, who's really impacted us, obviously, we talk so much about in so many ways on both sides of the baseball as well as on the bases. And Cody just made another great play tonight defensively, the homer a couple nights ago, and just taking really good at bats. So, yeah, Mookie's going to get the best of everybody. But now, you layer in Cody and the experience that he's had in the postseason and learning from that. And I think you can bucket Corey in that same conversation.
Next question is from Jorge Castillo. Go ahead.
Hey, stolen bases obviously aren't as big as when used to play, but just how valuable is that dimension of a stolen base and the threat of a stolen base in the game when, this kind of game is so much pressure and Glasnow being on the ropes?
Yeah, Glasnow, he's got a quick move, still, he can get slow and wants to execute pitches like all pitchers. But I think that having guys that the threat of the stolen base if he has to quicken up just a little bit in his from the stretch at second base, I think he got a little bit, try to be a little bit too worried about Mookie. Ultimately, Mookie stole the base. But yeah, when you have guys like Chris Taylor, Mookie, and some other guys, Cody, when he's right, that can create tension. I think that's a good thing.
You think you guys are better?
Can you repeat that?
Do you think you guys are better at that this year than the past, the recent years you guys have been there?
I think that in recent years, I can't really recall as far as who was on base, as far as personnel, but Mookie certainly adds a lot to it. But I know Chris Taylor in years past has been that guy for us, but certainly, a guy who's an elite base stealer like Mookie just makes everybody and that kind of stolen base aspect much, a bigger part of our offense.
Next question's from Bill Plunkett. Go ahead.
Starts game 2, Dave.
What's that?
Who starts game 2?
We're going to start Gonzalez.
And what is the thinking there? Just the most rested guy?
Rested, just feel that, he started come out of the pen, but we just like him in this spot.
Next question's from Jared Diamond. Go ahead.
Dave, what did you see on that play where Mookie scored from third on the grounder, and just how impressive was it that he was actually able to score on that ball?
Yeah, really good primary lead. And that's a contact play right there, and just got a really good break and understand the ball is going to come from the right side of the diamond. So he kind of went around to avoid that tag. So just a heads up play, a lot of speed also played into that.
Next question's from Pete Abraham. Go ahead.
Dave, how much did that double steal kind of set up the rest of that inning for you?
Yeah, it did. We did that in the Padres series as well. And Corey, as a back runner, the trail runner, did a nice job being heads up. But love Justin up there, but punched on the high ball right there. But still, with one out to get second and third to make it situational was huge.
Next question's from Cary Osborne. Go ahead.
Dave, how closely did you consider bringing Clayton in Game 7 of the last series, and how important was it the way that you handled him to give him the opportunity to impact this Game 1?
Yeah, I think that we were going to make sure we stayed away from him in Game 7 just for this particular reason. Having guys rested in Game 7, and also just having him ready and rested to deploy for this game, which obviously was really important, and Clayton threw the heck out of it tonight.
Next question's from Stephanie Apstein. Go ahead.
Dave, what's the most amazing thing you saw Mookie do tonight?
I think that Oppo home run was pretty impressive. He's got some pull side hits, but just going dead right was pretty impressive. Certainly that stolen base was impressive. We've seen that, but I think that Oppo dead right was pretty impressive.
Next question's from Claudia Guestro. Go ahead.
Dave, the pitching seems very focused against a very tough lineup. How inspiring is to see them handle the Rays bats tonight?
It's great, and it started with Clayton. He set the tone. He was very good, very efficient. The slider wasn't great early. The fastball was good all night, and the fastball command, the curveball was good. So for him to get us through 6, and kind of match up a little bit, I thought Pedro was really good. And Joe Kelly was good. So it was good to kind of prevent runs tonight.
Next question's from Eric Steven. Go ahead.
Dave, with Tony only on 2 days rest, is it still a situation where one or both of Dustin May and Julio Urias are also available tomorrow?
Yeah, they're both available, and we'll just kind of see, how the game plays out.
Next question's from Jack Harris. Go ahead.
Dave, what does it tell you about the way Mookie doesn't seem to really celebrate his home runs that much, but these other smaller plays, the getting home, the things he does in the field, he can get amped up about?
I think it just speaks to he's just, when there's things of it's, whether it's a defensive play that helps the team or a base running play that gets himself into scoring position for a teammate to drive in a run, I think he just gets more satisfaction out of that. When it's a home run, which certainly helps the team, he just doesn't care for the self kind of, all the statistics. I think he just plays the game to win. And I think even better if other guys get the credit.
Next question is from Brooks Smith. Go ahead.
I'm good. That question is asked.
I got time for one more. Go ahead, Alanna.
Dave, Corey with 3 walks tonight. Do you just get the sense that they want nothing to do with him?
Yeah, absolutely. And I don't blame him. I wouldn't want to pitch to Corey either. And I just give credit to Corey because those 3 at-bats, and I don't know how many pitches he saw in those first 3 at-bats, but to shorten up Glass now and make him to stress him a little bit by taking those walks was huge. And just a credit to Corey again. I mean, he's done it all postseason, just the value of 90 feet and taking good at bats all the time.
Thanks, Dave. Thanks,
Thanks,
everybody.
guys.